Thanks, everyone. Today we are talking with Anna, who hates asparagus and loves blueberry lemon ice cream. Someone once chased her off a bus thinking she was Scarlett Johannson, and she had to deal with 1,000 crushed goldfish. Anna quit her job and moved to LA to start her business, and she keeps her fridge stocked full of sparkling water. She wishes she was from Italy, but today she's going to tell us about Joshua Tree. So welcome, Anna.
Thank you so much for having me, April. That was an incredible introduction. I'm still having flashbacks to the crushed goldfish.
I bet.
That's a great, someday we want to hear that story.
I know, exactly, that alone.
So I'm going to start the timer. We have 7 minutes to talk about Joshua Tree. So can you just start and tell us why you chose to go there and just like what makes that place special for you?
Oh my gosh. Joshua Tree is one of the most unique places on the whole planet. And I'm not going to bore you all with like silly facts and figures about like the national park being the biggest national park, or these Joshua trees that look like seriously something out of Dr Seuss, or just the way that it feels like the rocks stacked in the park, like someone placed them there perfectly and you kind of feel like you're on Mars. What really makes Joshua Tree so special is the space. It feels like this place, this little funky desert town with like ramblers and people just playing guitar on the sidewalks, and the world's biggest crochet museum is like holding space for you. It's like if a place was a therapist. Joshua is that.
Wow. That's really, that makes this sound interesting already. So where do you stay when you go to Joshua Tree?
So Joshua Tree is home to seriously some of the freaking coolest Airbnbs around. It's kind of blown up here because it's pretty close to Los Angeles. And I used to live in LA. Now I actually live in Joshua Tree. I decided, so I liked it here so much, I just wanted the permanent vacay. But there's really cool little places to stay, Airbnbs, super fun. And the coolest place that I've ever seen here is an Airbnb that's like 15 feet off the ground. That's like this giant orange UFO.
Awesome.
Wow.
So crazy. Another really awesome place is this incredible house that's basically entirely made of mirrors. So you kind of can't see it in the landscape. And one time, my friend, she stumbled upon it because you kind of can't see it.
Yeah.
And ended up just kind of doing like an impromptu photo shoot there, which was pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that place, the house that is made of mirrors. Yeah, very cool. That would be interesting to stand next to, right? Just to be in the presence of that. So what are some of the things that people do while they're, I mean, aside from the crochet museum, what else is there to do in Joshua Tree?
So Joshua Tree, it's very quaint, and it brings a lot of people who like to be outside, obviously.
Okay.
And just the air is so like crystal clear. I love to hike. The national park is sprawling and it's really fun for a nice drive. And the sun rises and the sun sets. They're kind of 360. They like reflect in all of the clouds. So the sun is rising or setting in one part of the horizon, but you can see it all around. It's pretty cool.
Amazing.
Wow.
So if you love to hike and be in nature, it kind of makes you feel like you're a little kid again, climbing on the rocks, because you can kind of just pull off anywhere in the park and climb up and find yourself a little perch. And I like to personally go up there and just meditate, get centered, and look out on just like endless, gorgeous space and mountains.
Wow.
Interesting. Wow. So since you moved there, have you met some interesting people? Is there people that you've connected with? Like, are there like actually like locals then, like yourself now, or tell us about that?
Totally. Oh my gosh, the town is mostly locals, but a lot of people are coming in now because, you know, with everything going on, people just, I think, want to be closer to nature, and the cities have kind of less appeal. But I did meet this really swell guy at the grocery store. It was so funny. It was at the Kale.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's hilarious because I just launched my very own tarot deck of animal guides is what it's called. And I'm talking to this guy about my boyfriend's band, which is called Bird Shield. And he goes, man, I could have really used a bird shield the other day. And I was like, say what?
Yeah.
I know, so weird. And he said a dove flew through his window in his home. Wow. And shattered glass everywhere. And he expected, to look and see this like bloody bird. Wow. What he found was this dove perfectly okay, just walking away unscathed. He picks the bird up and says, no, you don't fly away right away. You're not doing too. He sets him in the backyard. The bird walks about 10 feet, looks back, and then flies off.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
What an experience.
Yeah, what a story. Oh my gosh.
And I'm like so connected to animals, and so I always meet people who are really connected to animals, and I'm like, so what was the dove's message for you? Clearly it had an important to get to you desperately. And he was like, well, that's for me. And I was like, you're not even gonna tell me? So funny. The people here are quirky and artistic, and I freaking love it. Like, the woman who owns the crochet museum is the cutest, and she has all of this like funky art and clothing, and people are just really, really authentic, and that's totally my vibe. I'm like, I want to be here for the people who are just fully being themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
I can totally see how that would be a draw, like a reason to stay, go back, spend more time there just for that, with the authenticness of the people, but also the interestingness. There's, they're not, it's certainly not boring, right? You get those interesting grocery store conversations and so forth.
Definitely not. And I feel like, Joshua Tree is in the desert, and the desert kind of gets this like bad rap for being like, it's all like brown and boring and blah, blah, blah. And it's totally not at all. There are some of the craziest plants, purple cacti. I mean, Joshua trees themselves. Like, oh my gosh, I had this hilarious interaction with a roadrunner.
Oh my God, that's so
Oh my gosh. Oh no. The more animal stories with the roadrunner.
So much good stuff, Anna.
Yeah.
So fun.
So that's our 7 minutes. Sorry, we're going to have to cut you off. That's what we do at 7 minutes, Anna. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. And they were great stories about Joshua Tree. And for anybody who was just on the fence, I think you certainly moved them over to let's go check it out. So we have a new question and answer series. So if you have questions for us, for April and I, you can check the description below in the video here and send us your questions. We'd be happy to answer them. And travel with us through real stories from real people. Thanks, Anna.
Thank you so much for having me.